to the stream. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. Just wanting to check to make sure that we are good to go. All right. Hello, Sophia. Let's get this a little bit closer. All right. Yo, yo, yo. All right, let me get my stuff here. Teddy is not is out. He's not cooperating. Neither is this camera. Yikes. There we go. All right. We got our Teddy cam going. Got the microphone here. All right. Everything's good. Is that working? That's working. Okay. Okay, here we go. How's that? We'll just throw out my expensive microphone and use the all right, well that's the best we're gonna get. So oh no, this isn't even, I'm not even using it right now because it's being a huge pain in the butt. So, okay. I'm gonna put on some questions for you so that we can, alright, you haven't just, alright, later below. Good luck doing college studying and all that. Yuck. I don't miss those days. Alright. Cool. Do we have to memorize the people's intelligence definitions? Yeah, I'd be pretty familiar with that if I were you. Yeah, that would be information that I would hold sacred. Okay. Now, are you gonna stay? Alright, let me know if this craps out on us again. picking it up anymore. What is the deal? There you are. Okay. All right, that's better. All right, not moving the microphone, not touching it. It is here. Okay, cool. All right. Yes, Emil, I answered that question already. What did I have? I have not had dinner yet. Dinner is currently in the oven. We're having some lasagna. So that should be ready in about 40 minutes. So it'll have a little time to cool. And then we will eat lasagna. So haven't had it in a while. It'll be good. Yeah, Kashish, I can do a quick overview of Charles Spearman. So Charles Spearman is one of your intelligence theorists. He was your G-factor guy. So remember that the G-factor was put together by Charles Spearman, and basically that is, like, you need to know that, and you need to know, like, factor analysis. But the G-factor is the major thing. So the deal with G-factor is this idea that all of your intelligence can be boiled down to one thing. That however, like, intelligence, while there might be some different facets, all of that, it can be pulled into this one idea, and this one idea is the G factor. And so what Spearman found was that people who had this high G were generally intelligent in everything, or in a large number of things. And so these so these tests that he would take, he would give to different people, and in all of the different categories, the people who were quote unquote smarter, who had the higher G, scored better on basically everything that was put in front of them. So the idea is you have that friend who's like, who's really smart, and they're like, I'm not so good at math, but they still get like 94s, 95s in their math class. That is what the G factor is. And so he was a big time proponent of the idea that nature was more powerful than nurture, that the DNA that was passed on from your parents onto the kids had more of an impact than like who raised you and how they raised you. So that is Spearman. And he used things like factor analysis to help him sort those things out. So just as a refresher, factor analysis is just the categories within a test. So tomorrow we use factor analysis to look at your numbers. So if I gave you the test, and then after the test there are like a certain number of questions on each of the topics, and so I get to go back, and if it's like, like 90% of students got 2 or fewer questions correct on the intelligence section. Okay, well, obviously we need to go over the intelligence section again if we had time to do so. So that's what factor analysis is, and it helps us better understand, what aspects of a test people did well in or struggled in. So, yep. Okay. Did not cover that. Okay. Let's see if you guys can sort this one out. IQ No, I would say that G factor is IQ. I would say that G factor strongly influences IQ. Do we need to memorize all 7 intelligences? All 7 intelligences are fair game. So no, a hill. So after the 9 weeks, we reset. So this is your last big test. So your test can change unit 1, 2, and 3, 4. But when we get to unit 6, I don't even know if we're gonna have 2 tests next. No, we'll probably have 2 tests. I know we won't have 3. We won't have 3 tests because we have unit 6, 7, 8, and 9. And unit 8, we have a different major grade project instead of an exam. Yeah. So crystallized and fluid intelligence. So crystallized intelligence is facts. It's like, I know this thing, I know the president of the United States. I know that Teddy has brown fur. These are all facts and things that I know. And crystallized intelligence grows and gets larger as a person gets older because we are able to, just gain more knowledge as time goes on. You learn more and more things. Without even trying. So our crystallized intelligence grows as we get older. Now, fluid intelligence gets worse as we get older. And fluid intelligence is basically just problem solving. How quickly can you work through an issue? How quickly can you solve something that is going on? Okay. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Cool. Okay. What is happening? Why are you giving me issues? There we go. What's up, Maha? Okay, so let's go over... All right, a young child says, where did you goad? Which of the following psychologists would most likely argue that a child is over-regulating? Oh, you know what? We didn't talk enough about that. It'd be Noam Chomsky, but we didn't spend enough time talking about that. A question like that's not on the test. I saw that earlier and skipped it, and then forgot not to put it in this question. So that's okay. Don't worry about that one. Noam Chomsky. He was the relativist guy. It's the language. Yeah. Do you guys have more questions for me? Okay. What do you mean, Teresa? Is it just going to be Unit 3 and 4? Are you talking about what this exam is going to replace, or what do you mean? Encoding is correct. Good. Oh, yeah. Unit 1 and 2 is fair game. I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, this is what you have to think about. It is... it's 10 questions, and there are 4 chapters that are amongst those 10 questions. So, at most, there's going to be 2 questions, maybe 3 questions per. So it's really small. So you don't have to go crazy going back, but it would be smart for you to just look over some old stuff. Yeah. Do we need to know specific details about the different intelligence tests? Yeah, you definitely need to know about the Weiss. I don't think you need to know this. You don't need to know as many specifics about the Stanford-Binet or the Binet-Simon scale. Maybe you should know who put them together. You should know maybe some of their flaws, like what's the problem with IQ tests in general, and why, like, which just plays into the fact of like why the Weiss was created. For this unit, yeah, the first thing we learned in this unit was intelligence. Unit 5 includes intelligence, memory, and thinking, intelligence, memories, thinking, problem solving, and language. Those are the 5 things that we talk about. How much time will you have for the test? Well, this is going to be your first test where it's on the dedicated timeline. So you'll have 45 seconds for each question. So 50 questions, 45 seconds. I don't want to do the math right now, but that is how much time. So yep. No problem. All right. Oh, sure. It's encoding, storage, and then retrieval. That's the order. I mean, just take 2 seconds and think about how you will learn or memorize anything. Sure. Rashida, operant conditioning is pretty big. Are you talking about like, I want the base, what's the base concept, or do you want anything specific within it? What are you asking for? I don't mind talking about it. I just want to know exactly what you're looking for. Phonemes are is the basic sound, like the b, ch, k, ah sounds, and then morphemes are the basic units of meaningful sound. So ing, ed, ing, ed, pre, those things. They have like meaning behind them. Oh, sure. Okay. Right. So, okay. So Rashida, let me just lay that out for you real quick. So remember, when you are working with operant conditioning, when you're working with operant, Teddy's up. When you're working with operant conditioning, the learner in the process is not... Where are you going? Dude, we just went outside. We're not going outside again. Literally we took a walk. You went outside. We're staying in here. I know. This is tough. You used to never do this. You used to just lay down on your bed that's over there, and we didn't have any issues. And now you're looking at me like I'm some terrible person. Okay, that's where you're going to lay down? Okay. Yay. Making it very difficult, Teddy. There you go. All right. Other streamers don't have to put up with this. Their dogs, you know, they just chill out. Okay. So operant conditioning, again, the learner is active in the learning environment. They recognize that there is some sort of consequences to what is happening, and so they, you know, they're following along with that. Classical conditioning is, again, you're looking at two naturally occurring a naturally occurring relationship between two things, and then basically there's just some neutral thing on the outside that gets involved. You need to know the stuff, but I don't know if you want to... What's up, Bashar? I would find it very difficult for you to memorize everything. You should be able to summarize all the stuff that you did. All right, big long question incoming. So bear with me. No problem. All right, there we go. Big long question for you. Hell, you gotta wait for it all to be done. But good answer. Good. All right. Okay. So while I have at least 27... Man, my numbers have gone down this year. Streams... Ahil is a sharp one. He is a sharp one. We'll keep him around. I've been secretly tracking him and his cousin's grades this year. They have been competing neck and neck. One of them will get 100, the other one will get a 95, and then they'll flip back and forth. I've been keeping an eye on it. Ooh, Bashar still... Psychology games still strong. Still strong. Hey, that's what it's about, baby. Where are you going now? You going to your bed? All right, I'll let that slide. Good boy. Good boy, Teddy. Good boy. All right. All is where it should be. Teddy is not happy, probably. But he'll survive. Hey, you got it. You got it right, Bashar. You got it before any of my other students. Yeah, this one was a little. This is a callback to Unit 1. I wanted to throw you a Unit 1 question, see if you remembered. This is hindsight bias. Remember, hindsight bias is when you predict something and then you are later proven correct in that prediction. And when at the beginning you're like, oh, I'm like 75% sure that this prediction is correct. Like when Mr. Monk started this stream, he predicted about 75% chance that Teddy would eventually sleep on his bed. And then when that prediction is later proven correct, that 75% turns into 100%. And so now I'm just like, oh, see, all you haters doubting Teddy lying in his bed. I told you all along, blah, 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 blah. That is hindsight bias. No, it is not reconstruct. Which earlier one, Master? Are you talking about the one with framing? No, that one's framing. Okay. So the framing is going to cause very likely some type of reconstructive memory, but that's from the framing. The framing is causing it. Yeah, Layla. There will be 10 questions from other exams. That's why it's progressive. You have 10 questions from like 2 questions from Unit 1, 2 from Unit 2, 3 from 4, 3 from 3, something like that. A total of 10. It's mixed up. Good. Algorithm. Good. Okay. I don't know who Splicer Beast is, but I have a Slytherin Queen. Yeah, Mnemonic Device. Mnemonic Device is just it's a memorization strategy. It's a memorization tool that when you take information that you know and you pair it with information that you don't know, it helps you retain that information. I'm going to give you the answer choices on this one because I don't think it does a good job of asking the question or I don't think it leads you to, because it's not really divided attention. Or I mean, it is, but that's not really what I was looking for. I probably should have just left it. Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Master Vibe, for the heads up. Oof. Thank you, YouTube. Splicer Beast didn't have anything educational to say, and it caught it right away. I put him in timeout. Yeah, there was some guy that was saying some really weird stuff at the beginning of the stream. King Cage Blitz had some very interesting beliefs about life. They were very dull. So, okay, during English class, Caleb is worried about an unfinished history project he needs to turn in later in the day. While the English teacher and other students discuss a short story the class just read, Caleb's attention is focused on how to finish his history project the next day. He's unable to recall the short story details presented in English class. The recall problem is most likely to... Okay. So I see a lot of people doing retroactive interference, but remember, retroactive is old information interfering with new learning. No, it's new. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's new information interfering with old memories, and so that's not retroactive. If it's a proactive, maybe. Oh, no, it does. We do have proactive interference. It's saying the answer is encoding, an encoding failure. No, you could say proactive. This is weird. All right, hey guys, let's just keep it to like actual school stuff. We have much better things to do. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's move on from that question. And I did not like that. It was not very clear. All right, we got a question up. Let's go. What do we got, people? What do we got? Uh-oh, we got an intelligence question. Uh-oh. Don't panic, everyone. Don't panic. Okay. Yes, fluid intelligence is what we're looking for. All right, good. Good. This next question is specifically looking at like what type of memory is this? What type of memory is this? This is what the question is asking. Lewis Terman's definition of intelligence, what I was drilling down to was his look at the, singular versus multiple intelligences and how strongly he fell into the singular intelligence camp. So he agreed with Gardner. His work on like the termites showed that, or, solidified his belief that intelligence was singular, that there was just one, one specific measurement of intelligence, or like intelligence could be boiled down to one thing. So you're just kind of, the real question there is he's a singular or multiple intelligence guy, and he's a singular intelligence guy. Okay, good. All right. Okay, good. All right, next question. All right, well, while I have a few of you on, I wanted to ask you guys a question. I just want to get you see what your temperature, how you feel about this. Is this something that you would be interested in going? I don't need a sympathy explanation or a sympathy yay, but just like legitimately, if you heard about this, would this be like something you'd be interested in doing? So if we had a faculty versus like teachers versus teachers sporting event. So like we like contacted teachers from Travis High School and we did like a basketball game, and it was like at the school, you know, proceeds went to maybe some charity, something like that. And, you know, it was basically just some of the teachers of Austin High School playing against some of the teachers from Travis in softball, basketball, something like that. Let me put some answer choices up here. It is certainly not that. That's not really what I can see where your brain is going on what this question is asking. So I'll put up some answer choices to give you a better idea. Oh goodness. People are... Here are the answer choices. Remember, morphemes are the smallest meaningful unit of sound. Heuristic is correct. I don't know what a mental rotation is. I've never heard that term. This is just what they put in the as one of the answer choices or whatever, but I have no idea. Okay, so hey, I want to this is your... Could I explain why? Why is this a heuristic? When confronted with the sequence blank and blank at the end of a word in a crossword puzzle, Tony inserts the letters I and G. We are very used to words like that's a heuristic. That's a shortcut. Like he's not stepping in and like trying all of these different things. He's just going with an educated guess. ING in a space and a space and then another space that might signify that's very common to have words that end in ing, and so he's using a heuristic, a shortcut. He's not going through all the steps. He's just using a shortcut to make that decision. Burner, metacognition is thinking about thinking. That is it. It is the process of you thinking about your thoughts. So if you think poorly about somebody and you're just like, oh, wait, why did I think that? Like, or, if you're like talking to yourself about like, oh, should I do the chores that I've been asked to do? Maybe not. You thinking about that thinking process, that oftentimes it's used to curb some of our behaviors and some of our thought processes. Like, oh, that person's such a buh, 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 buh. And then your brain's just like, hey, chill out. So. Okay. All right, hey, so back to my question. I'm not posting anymore until I get something out of you. Yay or nay, yes or no to going like on a school night to a, teacher versus teacher competition. I need to get some temperature on this. Is this something people would be interested in going and seeing? What if it's on a Friday? If a hill's not gonna go, no one's gonna go. A hill, you gotta come. What if we do it on a Friday? Yes, thank you, Sophia. I have other people on this stream as well. Burner, I get that. Depends on the sport. I understand that, Irvin. Sophia, we do not need to type that in all caps. You take off, take off the all caps. Our football team's struggling, but that doesn't mean we get to rag on them. There's nothing wrong. Like, playing against Ridgepoint, who's 6 times our size. Like, whatever. Extra credit? Not a chance, hell. Well, we're thinking of basketball or maybe softball. But, like, I'd like to, I don't know. If we do softball, I've got some funny rules I'd like to put in to make it a little more interesting. You're correct, Zoe. Sophia is not lying about her having caps lock on. I agree. Sheev, would you go? I didn't see your answer. Don't be razzing on a hill when you haven't answered yet. Oh, you're talking about his about him getting the extra credit. No, I would not give extra credit. I don't give extra credit for that sort of stuff, especially if it's a thing that I'm like, yeah, nope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, the plan is that it would be on a Friday. We wouldn't do it on a. Come on, Sheev. Come on. I know you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, but we need you. Okay, cool. All right, that is a lukewarm response, but good enough. We don't need 1 million people. We just need a few. So I'm leaning towards basketball, but also leaning toward. I can't decide on basketball or softball. I think it's just going to be more of which we should do or what works best. I just contacted one of the Travis teachers. We're going to start hashing some stuff out. Sophie, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've moved on. We support the teams and the groups that are at our school because that is what we do. We're Austin High School. School spirit, baby. Austin #1. If we got a bunch of people out there trying to be better human beings by playing a silly sport, which they're all silly, we gotta support them. That's a lot of people out there putting out their heart and soul trying to get better, and us bringing them down doesn't do anything. So, pump it up. You don't see me razzing you guys when you do poorly on a test. Ooh. All right. Nope, not talking about that. All right. We are certainly working on our school spirit. All right. I appreciate that, Zohire. But I don't think people would go to a soccer game. I mean, there would be a small group of people who would be very interested in that, but I can't imagine getting 11 teachers to play soccer. So yeah. All right. Good question, Irvin. Okay. So standardization, basically just think of the STAR tests or the SAT. Both of those tests are standardized, and all that means is that the test questions are made so that a specific group of people, like all of the people within that group, can take the test. So standardization is standardized for like the STAR test. The STAR test is standardized to Texas. So basically the point is that every student, whatever, if they're taking the STAR U.S. history test, that every U.S. student who's a junior should have the capabilities to take that exam. That's what it means. So standardization is you are structuring the wording, structuring the test so that the people that are taking it can all have possible success. So standardization became a big thing. We talk about like Lewis Terman bringing the Binet-Simon scale to the U.S. Well, he needed to standardize it because, well, first it was in French. The Binet-Simon scale was in French. So he's got to take that test and he's got to turn it into English. And then there's all these questions that are like French tilting, like, what is a croissant or what is a baguette? Or like, what do you put on a baguette? Which were legitimate questions. And, an American would be like, what the heck is a baguette? So we have to change the wording so that our demographic, our group of people that are taking this test can understand what's being said. Which is one of the big reasons why the Weiss is mostly like puzzles, like where you don't need to even know the English language in order to take the test. It's just like, this shape looks like this. What happens if you turn it which of the other shapes is like it, but it's been turned like 90 degrees or something like that. Are those tissue boxes on the ground? In the background? What? Oh, no, those are Magic the Gathering boxes. They've got Magic the Gathering cards in there. Dang, expert, you can see that? Oh, I guess so. If you have a big enough screen. Yeah. You know anything about Magic the Gathering? Oh, it's the wrong side. They're all playing. It's like playing cards and stuff. It's a game that I don't play as much of as I used to, but I still really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's something that I keep up with. So, yeah, good. Yeah, the forgetting curve. It's talking about the forgetting curve. Information processing model, is it selected or divided? Information processing model isn't talking about selected or divided attention. That's talking about memory. Selected and divided attention is something completely different. What happened, Teddy? Oh, yeah. Not yet, bud. Looking for another question for you guys. Goodness gracious. Where are they? Okay, well, whatever. I will do this. That is fine. How much of the test is based on intelligence? So you have to break it down. You're going to have 4 or 5 questions so you have language, you have thinking and problem solving, you have memory, and you have intelligence. So that's 4 sections, and you have 40 questions. So close to 10, maybe a little bit more. Probably a little bit more than 10. Of course, Arvin. I don't drop grades. Yeah. No, we just have a bunch of data grades. I don't know why we would drop down to 9. That seems silly. Oh, good question, Emil. Yeah, they're intended for younger people. Like if you look at like the the breakdown of how you measure in like an IQ, like it doesn't work. Like especially the original setup of it was your your actual age divided by your like intelligence age. There's a different word for it. I'm just blanking on it. And you divided by that, like you divided those two together, and then you got your score. You divided those two, and then you multiplied by 100, and you got your IQ score. And it just doesn't work when you're like, when you have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old score the same on an IQ test, you're just like, holy cow, that 6-year-old is super smart. But then when you get like a 48-year-old and a 54-year-old and they score the same, like it really in their 40s, late 40s and early 50s, it just doesn't really work. And so you don't really use the IQ, those like early version IQ tests on adults. This is why we use things like the Weiss. They're better explain those things. Yeah, Ahil knows what. Yeah, thank you, Ahil. He knew what my answer was. You ain't getting nothing from me. You got to earn it. Yeah, pretty much, Emil. Pretty much. Okay, episodic. Yeah, those are again, Burner, you're talking about long-term memories that you have to explain, and an episodic is just like I'm telling you a story. So I'll tell you the story of the first time that Teddy went swimming. I tossed the ball into the water, and he was like trying to get in there, but he wouldn't get all the way wet. And after 30 minutes, I was like, "You're a swimming dog. I'm tired of this." So I picked him up and I threw him in there. And he panicked for about 2 seconds and then loved it, and then has been in love with swimming ever since. That would be an episodic long-term memory. It is the memory of like a full-on story. Okay. Yeah, so functional fixedness is the correct answer. Good. Oh, there we go, expert. Nice. Just bringing in other teachers like, oh, other nice teachers do this. All right, nice. Yeah, Mr. Britton's a really good teacher, though. I like him. Sheev, the thing you need to know about Wechsler is going to be his Weiss exam. He was another multi-intelligence person, but what you need to know is that he created the Weiss. That's going to be your big takeaway. Oh, he was fine. Like, he didn't know what he was supposed to do. And I mean, that joke, that story is not an exaggeration. Like, he like panicked for 2 seconds and then like just fell in love. It was just, and now I can't get him out of the water. Yeah. All right, let me get another one. Emil, give me 2 seconds and I will get to your question. I have a issue over here that I need resolved. Okay. So remember, Chomsky's the nativist theory guy. My parents have a pool that he swims in. Yeah, so Chomsky is the nativist theory. He is the guy with that put together the inborn, what's it called? Inborn acquisition device. I can't remember the specific name, but that's the one where when you're born, you have the ability to learn any sort of language, and that is why children are so good early on, is because there's something in the brain that helps them soak in so much information, and that's why kids are really good at picking up language early on. Remember that even as you get older, you are still very capable of learning language because you're just smarter than you were before. Yep, good. This is proactive interference. Good, guys. Good. All right, let me get you one last question and we'll call it a day. Okay, good. Yep, chronological age. Alrighty. Do you guys have any specific questions before we end the night? Any last questions? Just throw up another question just for funsies. Yep, prototype is just the best example of a concept. So again, when we're looking at dogs, dogs are the concept. My prototype for that is Teddy, who's getting up and doing dog stuff. But it's just your best example of that thing. So you could say t-shirts is a concept, and I would be like, this is my favorite t-shirt. That is my prototype of that concept. It's the best example for an individual. Teddy, we're almost done, buddy. Just hold tight. Oh, okay. So Sternberg. Okay, so he had the three types, three different like types of intelligence. So again, he's a multiple intelligence guy. So he believed in three different types. So you have conventional, you have practical, and then you have creative. So conventional would be like your ability to do well on a math test or study for school and be competent within school. Creative intelligence is just your ability to think outside the box and look at what problems from different angles. And then practical intelligence is just like street smarts. I think we all have friends who are, are strong in street smarts, or they're strong in their book smarts, and maybe not both of those things at the same time. So, yeah, something like that. So that is that. Okay. It is 9 o'clock. It is my time. Thank you all for sharing your evening with me. Good luck on the exam tomorrow. Please make sure. Worf's linguistic theory is that your language influences the way that you think. So if your language does not have a way to describe something, you do not think about those types of things. If your language has a ton of words for that thing, you might think about that thing quite a bit, or have a good way of explaining that. I know. He put his paw up on me. He's done. He's done with this room. Okay. All right. I will eat all of my lasagna. Thank you for asking. I need to get that taken care of. All right. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much for stopping by. Good luck on the test tomorrow, and we will see you kiddos in the morning. Have a good one. That's fair, Hill. That's fair. Well, just know if you get below a 95, Emil will very likely get above 95, and then you're gonna be losing the race. All right. Y'all have a good one. See you later.